in your eyes now, but I know there's always a way. From sunrise till dawn, I'll be here waiting. From sunrise till dawn, I'll never stop. I'll fix you up, make everything much smoother again. I'll fix you up, from sunrise till dawn, my friend. I'll fix you up, with these hands and heart so true. I'll fix you up, Daniel, I'll fix you up. The connections might be tangled, the power source has lost its spark, but every wire tells a story, and I can mend what's torn apart. From sunrise till dawn, I'll be here waiting. From sunrise till dawn, I'll never stop. I'll fix you up, make everything run smooth again. I'll fix you up, from sunrise till dawn, my friend. I'll fix you up, with these hands and heart so true. I'll fix you up, Daniel, I'll fix you up. When the current isn't flowing, when the signals disappear, I'll be here with tools and patience, make the static crystal clear. Every cable, every circuit, every problem that you bring, I'll restore what time has broken, make the whole world sing. So don't you worry about tomorrow, don't you stress about today. I've got maintenance for your troubles, and I'll chase them all away. I'll fix you up, make everything run smooth again. I'll fix you up, from sunrise till dawn, my friend. I'll fix you up, with these hands and heart so true. I'll fix you up, Daniel, I'll fix you up. Hey, Daniel, everything's good as new. Hey, Daniel, I'll fix you up for you.
Well, welcome everybody who is coming in today. Now, do me a favor, you guys. If you are not subscribers to this channel and you like the content that's on this channel, please consider subscribing to my channel and helping this channel grow. Hello, Cynthia. I'm doing okay. It's just that when you set up a live stream in StreamYard, it shows up twice on YouTube. So you have one setup in StreamYard, but when you go to YouTube Studio, it's two setups. So when I went live, it came up twice. Notification came up twice. But today is Judge Middleton. And like I said, I have a calendar, and all these different judges are scheduled out for certain days. I just, so I have everything scheduled. So a certain day this judge will come on, another day this judge will come on, and the day after this judge will come on. Looks like I might have to start scheduling the stuff one day at a time. But enough of me yapping my mouth. Let's get to Judge Middleton, who is one of my favorite judges. Judge Simpson tops my list. And let's make this bigger. And
all right, we're back. We're going to address our small claims docket. Shannon, will you let Keith know we're not going to be able to address Mr. O'Brien? I can deal with him on Wednesday morning with the arraignments. He has a $50,000 cash or surety bond in his new case. And he is not presumed to be innocent in this case because he pled guilty. He failed to appear for sentencing. So we will do Marty O'Brien with my morning arraignments on Wednesday, the 12th.
Wow.
I'm not gonna get to it.
Are you gonna want him brought here Wednesday?
No. I'll do it by Zoom. It's just I'm gonna give him some jail one credit for time served. All right, we are now changed gears to small claims. Of course, I got the criminal case, but I didn't grab the small claims case.
All right.
I don't, just take it.
Yeah, again.
Everybody stay seated. All right, Elena, would you come into the proceeding? I'll give you a proper name. And it's not Elena. You're here on which case?
TM Asphalt versus Travis Blair.
All right, I'll give you a TM Asphalt. And Brenda Garn, would you join us, please? And John Reading and Christy Worrell. Miss Garn? Miss Garn, can you hear me?
Yes,
All right, I'm going to call this case. This is Brenda Garn versus Tiffany Schweitzer. It's a claim for $7,000,
Ooh. Wow.
which is the current limit in small claims. They were never able to serve this lawsuit on Miss Schweitzer, so we can't proceed at this time.
I heard she was in Jackson.
Say that again.
I heard that she was in Jackson, Michigan.
All right, well, I'll allow 60-day continuance for attempted service. So I'm sorry I had to wait an hour for that, but actually we're 28 minutes behind, all things considered. That isn't terrible. So no hearing today. We can't do a default unless she got served with the action. And so that matter was continued for up to 60 days to attempt to get service. So Ms. Garn, you're good to go. If you get further information about where she is in Jackson, we can attempt that.
Okay.
All right, good luck. I'm gonna remove the waiting room. All right, next up is TM Asphalt and Sealing of Schoolcraft versus Travis Blair. You gentlemen are here from TM Asphalt.
Yes, sir.
All right, would you state your names
I'm
one at a time?
I'm Brandon Bordner, owner of TM Asphalt.
I'm Terry Moyer, sales rep on this project.
How do we spell Bordner?
Bordner.
And Wyeth? Terry, what's your last name?
Moyer, M-O-Y-E-R.
And you're the service rep?
Yeah, just sales.
All right, would you both please raise your right hand? You will swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give here will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Blair has not appeared.
I'm right here, sir.
Oh, he's here. I thought you were with her. All right, Mr. Blair, would you come up and have a seat?
Yes, sir.
I misunderstood. I'm sorry. That's what you get for assuming things.
So, right here, fine.
You're the defendant.
Yes, sir.
Would you please raise your right hand?
Yes, sir.
You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give here will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't realize what the deal was. Miss Brown and Mr. Reading and Miss Worrell and both of you, you're all here on a small claims case. I apologize, keep blowing my nose, but small claims is a separate division of the 3B District Court. Claim is limited to $7,000 and you can sue for money damages only. You can't sue for a tort. And I'll explain that later if it becomes relevant. Neither party is allowed to have an attorney in small claims court. We don't strictly follow the rules of evidence or procedure. That is, I won't make you go through a bunch of foundational rigmarole to get letters and documents in, but everybody is under oath. This is important. There's no formal record being made in small claims court, and there's no appeal. Any decision made in small claims court is final. Gentlemen from TM Asphalt, you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Blair,
Yes, sir.
Miss Brown, and Mr. Reading and Miss Worrell?
Yes.
Yes,
You
Your Honor.
agree? All right, we're gonna take this one first and then we'll address yours. All right, this is a claim for $2,825.82. Let me get into the electronic file. We get a lot of these different contractors suing on non-payment of a contract. In this particular case, I got so much junk in here, I haven't had a chance to clean it out. The plaintiff claims that amount for services rendered and the amount unpaid. The total was $13,940. Defendant paid $11,114.38, and plaintiff contends $2,825.82 is due. Mr. Blair has a different view of things, and he filed an answer. Sorry, I don't have copies of these. I have to go. He says, I agree to pay something, but this is not full amount. Working on getting a quote for unfixed damage. I counterclaim for $3,000 because of the damage done to my yard, harassment by Terry Mosby.
Should have been Moyer.
Moyer, for just showing up at my house, causing issues. You can't really sue for that sort of thing.
He showed up unannounced after I made a formal complaint online about their poor standard of quality, and actually admitted that they were at fault. The owner.
All right, well, you're the defendant, so
Yes, sir.
they get to go first.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
hear
sir.
your story. You're all under oath. All right, gentlemen, Mr. Bordner, why do you believe he owes you $2,825?
I will say there has been some additions that we've had on the service
You're
charge.
gonna have to speak up. I'm having trouble hearing you here. Maybe it's because I'm elderly, but
There have been some adjustments to that. He has made an additional $200 payment, and we have had another service charge added on for the overdue nature of the bill. I currently show the overdue balance at $2,665.21.
all right. Now, Mr. Blair, your answer is a little unclear. You said I owe some and I'm willing to make payments, but on the other hand, then you counterclaim for $3,000.
Well,
So
I have a issue with the driveway itself, Your Honor. I have sinkholes developing in part of the in the driveway that extend over 35 feet long and about 25 feet wide. They were not there originally. They started off as a small little hole. They have since grown and almost runs an entire length side of my driveway, which I have pictures and video of. There's several cracks. One crack in general is over 25 feet long or 22 feet long. The cracks continue to grow as the weather continues to worsen. I have cracks down the side of the driveway, which are not relevant to what Brandon's going to say it's part of the edging, but it's not. It's actually, if you look at the driveway, it's cracking. I've got samples from where my driveway is cracking, which he assured me would never do, and it's cracking here. I also have both of them. I recorded both of them on my property where they both admit that they could have easily fixed this, but they decided not to. Brandon and Mr. and Terry said that it's an easy fix with heat and a hammer, and they never even bothered to bring either when they showed up in my house the second time. I have to get estimates, but right now, small ballpark, they parked their heavy equipment along the side of my driveway, and it left 2 deep trenches, which also resulted in damaging the deck of my mower, which now I need a quote on that. They used part of my driveway. They used part of my, I had seed and I had mulch, and I had some peat moss. They used that as support for the driveway. Even right in that same spot, I have a tiny sinkhole developing there. It's probably about 5 feet long. The damages overall, Your Honor, I have not been able to get an estimate. So, but I think that with everything going on, I think it's easy to say that I also filed up with a letter, different letter. I mailed them a certified letter to which Mandy signed. I mailed them a letter and they did sign it. I left the receipt signed. It's in my car. It's at the shop getting repaired. But I did get a signed copy, which was with I signed an official document stating that they are to fix this. They have not even addressed it or even acknowledged it, but they did just admit to cashing the check because the check was sent with the letter.
now, which check is that?
The $200 I just sent them. And I mean, overall, they promised good, high quality asphalt, 36A asphalt. Through my investigation and my online, some of my research and looking up different cases and everything going on, you can clearly see that they use subpar material and they substitute subpar material. And as I walk out my steps, you can see that the asphalt's pulling apart and it's just turning into nothing but stone. Hot asphalt mix is not supposed to look like it's a stone or reptilian skin. And most of my driveway looks like that. where the sinkholes are, that's about 35 feet long. That entire section looks like it's done with poor material. The causes of the sinkhole is a result of poor base setting, quickly setting the asphalt layers where they were quick to do it, and then on top of it, some material. I'm not going to pay for subpar material until I have a quote. Best case scenario, that whole section has to get tore up, just get fixed, because they have to strip it all the way down to the base layer to fix it.
All right, they're not here. You're here. You've got a laptop.
They're right. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they're there, but if I'm to look at your pictures, it's going to be hard for them to see them.
Yeah, I didn't know.
All right, well, there is a way to tie into that where we could share the pictures, but I'm not sure. Let's see what you got, what you want me to see.
Do you want to tie it in, or I can attest, if they want to attest, they were both in person seeing everything.
I will bring it up here. We'll see
Yes,
if
sir.
we can
Oh, you
show.
wanted to do it, man? Sorry. Oh, this is just want that, man.
No, I want you to come up and operate it. I don't want to wait your
Oh,
laptop.
sorry, man. Or sorry, Your Honor. Where would you like it at, sir?
Set it right here, right here.
Facing the screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What we're gonna do is
So-
I'll probably put the camera on.
Whatever you need to do, sir.
All right, what I want to see are the pictures.
Okay. So I want to, oops. This is an email, but we'll go over that later. Asphalt. Okay, so we'll get into this, right? Gotta go back. So this is my asphalt. You can see here that this is not what high grade asphalt is supposed to look like. You can see how the if you want, I can pull up the original. We can zoom in if you want, Your Honor. But you can see how this is all scaling. That is poor grade asphalt. That means they're using this is them using recycled asphalt instead of high grade asphalt, which is what's in the contract with 36A. We never agreed upon that.
All right, are you an expert in asphalt?
No, Your Honor, but if they would like to testify under oath what they used, so they can demonstrate through quality controls or anything they've done.
All right, well, they can't see your pictures, and I don't know if I can get my camera over there.
I can move it closer if you whatever you prefer,
just,
Your Honor.
right now, it's not even facing the right direction. It's on. Let's see here.
I have long arms, Your Honor.
Well, they can't see that, but
Whatever you need to do,
it's
sir.
on this camera right here. So let's see.
I'll bring it closer.
All right, go ahead. Okay, just show me what you want to show me.
Okay, so you got the low grade quality asphalt. I go, here's the cracking. This is just a small example of the cracking. Same cracking. And down in here, this is actual video, but underneath all of this, it's so brittle, it's falling apart, which is part of that example. And what's happening is the seams on the asphalt, Your Honor, are breaking apart. And then underneath here, water can get in. It's going to basically eventually separate, and all this these sections are going to fall apart. I mean, right now we got freezing going on. So the water's going to get in underneath all of this asphalt, and it's going to pop it up. Eventually it's going to destroy within a year or two, these sections are going to be completely gone because there's no base. It's all just up like this. Water can get in. And now it's just eventually when it freezes, it's going to lift and it's going to start cracking across the driveway. Actually, if you want, I'll turn.
No, just show me the rest of the pictures.
Here's more examples how it's just brittle, falling apart, or uneven surfaces. Right here is one example of the sinkhole, Your Honor. That's just one section. That's after recent rainfall.
Back up.
Yes, sir. Right here.
So what am I looking at?
This is just one of the. This is
a mud puddle on top of the.
No, this is a sinkhole. Oops. This is a sinkhole from them with they did this entire section wrong. You can see how the sinkhole is starting to develop because of it. And that's just one section. You can see here that entire section is nothing but a sinkhole, and it runs all the way down that. And that's the result of them not doing this correctly at all. Their whole base layer is wrong.
So looks like a big puddle. So it's a low point that's full of water.
Yeah, and it's not even. And eventually what's happening now is all this is freezing and it's turning into nothing but one big ice rink. Well, this is an example of poor quality because it started out, Your Honor, if I may go back. It started off almost that size, but it started off that size over here. And now it just keeps growing. And I have more, but you can clearly see how that's just a depression right there. That's an example of poor quality. And then here, if you keep, when it goes further, you see all that? That is because they did this entire job in a hasty manner with substandard material, and they did it in a fast, because they're behind schedule because of the rain we had throughout July and August. They were so far behind schedule. Brandon can attest to, if he wants to admit under oath, they were working from basically sun up to sundown and on Saturdays because they get caught back up. More.
All right, do you have any more pictures?
Yeah, this is the latest. You can see, look how much freezing that is. They're supposed to have measurement, but you can see all of that is all frozen because of the sinkholes and depression from poor material. So you can see, this is another video of how big this depression is. This is not what a driveway is supposed to look like. It's not supposed to sink in on itself. May I move on?
Yeah.
And you can see here again, you can see how it clearly runs all the way down and all the way over. So it's not even draining, it's just flooding. And this entire section is scaling and coming apart. Everything in here is scaling and coming apart. We don't need that. I think this might be. So we got more, this is more pictures, more video. I'll start moving my stuff. Underneath all this, Your Honor, is it's cracking, and eventually my camera angle is horrible. But underneath all of this, all the way down, there's more cracking, more cracking, more cracking, more cracking, more cracking. And I'll go on. I have an actual video of all of it. Something here. So right here, if you come out, oh, this is Terry. If you want to watch the video of Terry coming out of my house, but this is what
No,
Terry,
I just want to see the pictures of the.
oh, that's it. I have a video. I think I have a video on my phone, Your Honor. If you want, I can play that video showing you how long the measurement is. And I have a video of it being over at 22 feet, if you'd like to see that.
No, just.
But I will testify under oath that it is over 22 feet.
All right, thank you. You can take your.
Thank you, Your Honor. And for the record, I was sure that this would never happen by Brandon himself when he came out that this driveway. I have more chunks that I haven't even brought.
So they're on the edges?
All over the place, Your Honor. It's not just the edges. The end of my driveway, when I was leaf blowing it, it's starting to peel up because of how poor the quality is on one side. When I was leaf blowing it, it started bringing up chunks.
All right, gentlemen, that's quite a lot to unpack. Those videos were probably very difficult for you to see. But it does appear there's substantial low points in the driveway. He showed cracking and breaking along the edges, and he claims there are chunks. What's your response?
We can go through all of this, and I have an itinerary or list of dates and times that we've talked to him. And some of these complaints we have never heard of. So to go through some of the stuff, on July 17th is when the driveway was first paved. On July 25th, we invoiced Travis for the full amount. On July 25th, he wrote.
All right, now what was the full amount?
The $13,860 was the original amount.
That was the original quote?
The original quote and the invoiced amount. Yes, sir.
All right.
He wrote a check to us on that date, July 25th, for $10,000.01. On the 28th of July, we returned Travis's phone call about paying the rest of his bill. Travis was not happy. He wanted to pay the rest by credit card and was going to pay the full amount, but he was not happy about the 4% fee. So he decided not to pay the remainder on the credit card. On July 28th, later on in the day, Terry went out to look at the property due to the complaints that he presented to us during the phone call. Terry then offered to fix the driveway because they were just the edge cracking. And truly, all that does take is a short amount of time, an asphalt torch, and a little tamp to compact it. He refused and said that he was not going to let a crippled elderly man do the repairs, which is when he had the video of Terry sitting on the scooter. On July 25th, he made a Google review with that same video. Or 28th, sorry, I apologize. July 28th, he made the Google review. On July 29th, tried to leave a voicemail twice, one at 12:57. He called back at 4:03. Travis stated that he no longer was paying the bill in full because the driveway was cracking on the edges. And he stated numerous times that he was not going to let an elderly man fix it. On August 4th, we received a check for $112.21. On August 5th, we received a check for $2.72. Both of these have nice little comments on them. On August 5th, Terry texted Travis to try and come out to fix the cracking. We did find out it was an incorrect phone number at the time. We did try and make contact and thought it was, but that was the incorrect phone number as our mistake. On August 13th, Travis came to our office to pay the $1,000 on his account by credit card to continue paying it off. Told us numerous times he was going to take us to small claims court because he had already repaired the driveway himself using crack filler.
So did you accept that $1,000 payment?
We have accepted, yes. Yep, and that is on the invoice as showing updated and the correct balance as well.
May I add something real quick, Your Honor, if I may, when they're done, or how?
Yeah, you can wait till they're done.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
August 13th is when he came to pay the $1,000 on credit card. Said that he had purchased all the stuff and already fixed his own cracks on the driveway with material that he had purchased on his own with no consultation. August 15th, Tammy called to set up an appointment to look at his driveway for repairs to his satisfaction. He stated on the phone call that he was not sure going to look at it was worth it because he had already started repairing it himself with his crack filler from Amazon. We still made an appointment for Friday, August 22nd at 10 a.m. to have myself, Terry, and my business partner, Tammy Stafford, attend.
all right, just a minute.
Yes, sir.
All right, so he said he started repairing it himself using his own crack filler on 8/15. What was next? You made an appointment to go out there?
Yes, sir. And then on August 22nd at 10 a.m. is when we set up the appointment where we went to the property, knocked on his door. He asked us what we were doing there. Continued to show us where he had fixed the cracks without our consultation, and we informed him again. At that point, I no longer felt comfortable fixing the cracks. Normally, like I said, they were very easy, and I have photos of another property that the same thing happened, that we fixed it and took about 10 minutes. Client's happy as can be. You can see before and after photos showing the edge cracking. Once he puts a product on there that I don't know the product and have no knowledge of, the way to fix asphalt is to reheat it through asphalt torches, and then to use plate compactors and rollers and vibratory compactors to repair the asphalt. With him having an unknown product on there, we don't know whether that produces toxic smoke or whether it melts or any of that. And so we could not fix any of the damage that he had covered with that material at that point, and we went over that with him. As for any damage in the lawn, the original invoice and his signed copy that he says states right in there that we are not responsible for any landscaping or reinforcing the edges of the driveways. We went over that with him. He did state that there was a wet spot on the puddle. The only video of that we've gotten that we could see, because I could not see earlier when he was showing you, it was actively raining when he showed us the puddle. And according to the standards that he has printed off for us, it says that the puddle needs to be at least a half an inch dip or a half an inch in depth in order to count as a depression. And he's never provided us with a video or a measurement for depth. And on August 22nd, when we met him there, as we ended that meeting, he told us never to come back on property. And so we have followed his wishes, and we have not contacted him other than sending updated invoices and have had no further contact or showing up on property due to his own request.
Hey, just a minute. I'm sorry, I don't have paper copies of these. They're all electronic. So I have to go to my screen to see. I'm looking for the clause that says what's in the contract. We propose to furnish material and labor due upon completion. All work will be completed in a workmanlike manner according to standard practices. Any alteration or deviation from the above specifications involving additional costs will be executed upon verbal or written authorization, become an extra charge over and above the cost of the estimate. All agreements contingent upon strikes, accident, delays are beyond our control. The client agrees to cover all costs arising from litigation should it become necessary. Our workers are fully covered by workman's comp. All down payments are non-refundable. New pavement is very tender for a period of months after installation. It would be very susceptible to power steering, twist, and tire indentations, especially during hot daytime hours. Caution should be taken to avoid sharp turning or turning wheels while not moving. Small objects of any weight placed on the new pavement will tend to sink into the asphalt, i.e. kickstands, ladders, and grills. Please avoid these situations. Any lawn restoration is the responsibility of the owner unless otherwise specified. Resurfacing over existing asphalt or concrete that cracks will result in reflective cracking in new surface. If gravel base is found to be insufficient, there will be additional cost to be negotiated with the owner. So he accepted the proposal on those terms. What does the clause resurfacing over existing asphalt or concrete that cracks will result in reflective cracking in the new surface? What does that mean?
So that would not apply to this situation. That's when we do overlay, typically more in parking lots where you take off the top inch or inch and a half of a parking lot and then put a new top layer on the existing base. In this situation, Mr. Blair's driveway was done from the gravel up, so that part of the clause in the statement would not pertain.
All right, you agreed to furnish and install 6 inches of 22A gravel. Was that done?
Yes, sir.
Regrade and compact the gravel base to be paved. Was that done?
Yes, sir.
Furnish and install an average thickness of 1.5 inches of commercial base coarse asphalt and 1.5 inches of commercial service coarse asphalt. So this entire project was to be 3 inches thick.
Yes, sir.
And it says asphalt 36A. What does that mean?
36A is the designation that the asphalt plants provide for the grade of asphalt that's purchased for the day. 36A is considered an industry standard asphalt for residential driveways and produced by both Michigan Paving, Reith Riley, and Lakeland, which are the 3 main asphalt producing plants in our area.
He claims that you did not use 36A, but used recycled asphalt. What's your response to that?
I have zero control. The asphalt plants produce all asphalt in the area for all asphalt companies. When we show up, we order the surface and the tonnage that we require, and the asphalt is put into our trucks and they get tested by the state to make sure that when they say it's a 36A, they're tested periodically to make sure that the scale and size, all that matches a 36A spec. So
All
we,
right, so what you purchase, who'd you purchase it from?
Reeve Riley was the producer of this gentleman's driveway.
And where is that plant?
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
And what you paid for was 36A coarse asphalt.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, the biggest thing he has, I suppose, he claims there are depressions which are causing it to have these low points which fill with water. And that would be from an inadequate base. What's your response to that?
So
EMS, how you
when
doing?
paving, I mean, you are moving, low spots can be developed due to compaction and things like that. We do fix them on a regular basis. I have an infrared machine and we go behind lots of the different paving companies through different parking lots and do repairs of low spots. Industry standard does tend to hold that it has to be a water puddle that persists for longer than 24 hours at 80 degrees. And according to Mr. Blair, the tolerance that he
This morning.
you would like to follow is 1/2 inch in.
Go ahead.
So, and I do not know, we've never been provided with a measurement of depth, and because we were asked to leave the property and not come back. And the only thing we've been provided was when it was actively raining. That I honestly, and I could not see the videos that he provided to you. I don't know if it's a 1/2 inch in depth, nor if it persists after 24 hours.
All right, Mr. Blair.
Okay, first, can they confirm that, Mr. Moyer, can you confirm that you called me before coming out, and what day was that?
The only thing that I can confirm to you is that I called you when we were getting ready to do the grade work. You explained to me that you had, to make sure that there would be no vehicles there, you explained to me that you had kicked your girlfriend out and that there wouldn't be a problem to come anytime. And yes, I did not call you prior to the paving dates, just be based on that and just things that I had going on, but I just went by what you said, that you would be there if they needed a vehicle, you would be there, that nobody else would be any vehicles left there. So that's all I.
And can Mr. Brandon, can you please confirm that you testified that Mr. Mosby did call me before coming out?
Mr. Moyer.
Mr. Moyer, can you please testify, what's the owner's last name, sir, Your Honor? I need him to, because he stated in his testimony that Mr. Moyer did call me before coming out because of my online complaint. He did testify that.
So we have been out to your house on several occasions, very told verbally that.
That's Mr. Borden. So what's the relevance of this?
It's the fact that I made an online complaint and it goes to a, just what I said about the harassment. And Your Honor, I have a blog standard, a blog point from TM Asphalt's own website. They actually recommend that you use a hot rubber crack filler edge to seal the cracks on the edge of a sidewalk, on the edge of a driveway. This is straight off their website. I don't know this whole heat thing, but they even recommend it. I even explained to the.
All right, well, you took self-help and made some repair on it without.
That's because Mr. Moyer didn't offer any solution, Your Honor.
Well,
He came out in a scooter and a boot. And all he said was, we could just heat it and hit it back together. That was his only solution, Your Honor. Never once did he state that he would call the office and make arrangements. He came out.
Well, by the time they came out for the appointment later in August, you'd already done some self-help.
It's because they offered no solution, Your Honor. Because when Mr. Moyer left, he stated that the only solution was to do two things: heat it up and tap it back in, or I need to lay down more topsoil and help prevent it from cracking further. That was the only two solutions.
Why?
And Mr. Moyer was in no capable ability of doing that because he was in a boot.
All right.
And he was also on a scooter. There's no way I was going to make him do that.
Well, you said he didn't even come with the tools to do it. And I don't think he was prepared to do it.
Well, he
So-
stated that, and then the second time they came out, Your Honor, they didn't even bring the tools either. They just showed up.
Well, they came out, they
Can I
said to
say something to
assess
that?
the, yes, just a moment, to assess the project. Yes, Mr. Bordner?
So Terry, as a sales rep, is not responsible all the time for fixing that stuff. He does carry around tools with him and he does repair some things. He was on a scooter and had a broken ankle this year. And as a sales representative, as you and even Mr. Blair has admitted when I asked him the same question, how often does a sales representative that you meet at, say, a car dealership repair your car? So Terry Moyer was not given the opportunity to repair it. And when we as a company tried to be responsible and set up the meeting to address all of these, before we got out there, he had already fixed his own way all of these crack fills. We did show up with the tools because they were in my truck and Terry had another set of tools in his truck that we could have done the repairs for. Mr. Blair also just said that on our website, it does state that cracks should be repaired with hot pour asphalt or hot pour rubber. He, I do not believe, used hot pour rubber to his repair. And when we asked him what he used from Amazon, he described it as a cold pour caulk that he
I did
bought.
not describe it as cold pour caulk. I described it as an asphalt caulk. And it was, you said you didn't have any idea what asphalt caulk is. I can play your words if you want to hear them, your own words.
I
I
apologize.
recorded our conversation.
Use the wrong terms. Asphalt caulk is fine, but either way, it does say on our website, we recommend a hot pour rubber. And that is not what he used. So even doing his own repairs, he did not follow the recommendations that are put on our
But
website.
neither were you guys.
All right, well, stop. We're not sitting around the kitchen table. We're
Yes,
at
Your
a
Honor.
trial.
Yes.
And this is all about clear as mud. Some of the things that you're suing for, you can't sue for.
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
can't sue for anguish and pain and suffering. You also can't sue for any damage to your lawn. So,
What about my driveway where they forced their way into my garage and cracked the driveway? I don't have a quote on that, but they did force their way into my driveway, into my garage, Your Honor, and parked their machine in there. And I still gotta get, I'm missing tools and stuff. I gotta find receipts, so I get
wait a
that.
minute, don't just start throwing spaghetti against the wall, see if it'll stick. Let's see what's in your counterclaim. I believe plaintiff owes me money because damage done to my yard. You can't sue for that.
I don't have the number. Oops, sorry, Your Honor.
Harassment by Terry Mosby for just showing up at my house, triggering my PTSD. Well, you can't sue for that either. A, I don't know if you established it, and B, you can't sue for a tort, like infliction of emotional distress.
I
So,
didn't know that, Your Honor. I
well,
apologize.
that's common. We have it in the next case also. I have it documented that they were at fault.
I have them both on the record stating, Your Honor, can Mr. Moyer please state if he was the one who sold TM Asphalt to the current owners?
Well, I don't know what.
That's
difference-
relevant because, I'm sorry, Your Honor, it's relevant because if Terry sold them this, he would be qualified to know what damages are. He's not just a sales rep, he used to own the company.
All right, fair enough, but I'm looking at your counterclaim. $3,000 because they damaged my yard. The contract says that's on you. Harassment by Terry Mosby, that you can't sue for that. So that's what's in your counterclaim.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
All right, so then let's look at their claim. The quote was for $13,940.20.
13,860 was the original invoice.
That's correct.
Yes, then the actual invoice submitted on 7/25 had a credit card fee and some other stuff, so 13,940. minus 11/14/38. Now, what's been paid since 11/14/38?
Since 11, he has sent us a $200 check, which brought the balance that he owes, excuse me, to $2,625.82. And then due to the timing of everything, we had a finance charge added on for the overdue balance of $39.39, bringing the total amount balance due according to our records to $2,665.21.
All right, and that's close to what you pled. Now, he does seem to have some legitimate issues here. I can't tell about the sinkholes. The quality of the video wasn't really good enough for me to see it, but it's breaking up along the edges. And your claim is he didn't give you a chance to fix it. And then he used a self-remedy. The project was put in on the 25th.
So we go
And by
clients that they
within 2 weeks, he was already doing stuff to it.
It's said with the landscaping that they have to shore up the edge anytime an asphalt, and we go over this with the client, is left with a full 3 to
You guys never did though.
of the asphalt. Gravity can pull away. It's why we put that landscaping has to be done, which we go
Which
over.
isn't also in the
All right,
contract.
again, only one person can talk at a time.
Sorry, Your Honor.
We also, I mean, I have video evidence. I did this a week ago to a client that we paved that had the exact same situation. I don't know how to show you photos over Zoom.
Yeah.
It shows the exact same edge cracking, and I don't know if you can bring these around at least a tent. If you can't, please let me know. I completely understand. But you can see like that edge crack.
Yes.
Right. And then as we zoom out, you can see the same crack along the edge there that shows the back of the car. All that we do is we take an asphalt torch and a tamp, and we heat the asphalt back up to close to the 200 to 300 degree temperature that it is when we put it down. We hit it with the tamp and it smooths everything back out. And I don't know how well you can see that, but that entire edge, the crack is gone and the entire
Yes, I can see it.
loose asphalt is corrected. That repair and that 10 feet of repairs took me maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And I talked to the homeowner and explained the same thing, that with a couple bags of topsoil, he probably never needs to call me again. If it did happen again, to call me, I'd come back out and do the same thing to address the situation. And it truly, we do that, I would say, out of all the driveways we do a year, there probably is somewhere between 2 and say 10, you know, I don't know what the average is, but somewhere in that range every year that we get these calls and we show up with a little tamp and a torch and we heat it up and we fix it. And I would say out of, say, if on the worst side you do 10 a year, I don't know, I think maybe one I've got called back to a second time.
All right. Mr. Blair, anything else you wish to say?
I would like to know why Terry just showed up if the owner himself is the one going out repairing it. Why is Terry coming out if he's the one fixing them? If it's that simple, I'm not understanding that. Because I have them on recording that when they did this, they knew that this would happen. And
Well, what's the difference? If the service manager comes out to look at it,
when Terry left, there was no mention of anyone coming back out or future calling or contacting. I was basically under the impression I was on my own. And then the last time I made any online complaint, I got follow-up calls asking me to change my review. That's what I thought they were doing. I've never had anyone show up at my house unannounced after I make an online complaint, but here we are. That's what Terry did.
well, maybe he came out to see what the concern was. So,
But
Mr.
the
Moyer, he
owner
says,
testified that he's not qualified, though, Your Honor. If the owner testified he's not qualified, why is he the one coming out?
well, he's qualified to look at it.
That's not his testimony, though.
Well, Mr. Moyer, did you come out and look at it?
Yes, I did, sir. And at that time, there was a, when we put the second layer of asphalt on, we pulled the top layer over the bottom layer, and that's what had cracked, which was very minimal amount, would have taken very little to fix it. And then there was the mention of the garage door being opened and about us having Hispanics working for us and different things like that. But that was it. And then that was kind of the end there, is that I would get it fixed. It was, wasn't going to do it that night that when I come, but I would have fixed it. And then, we in review and stuff, we just didn't feel comfortable going back out there until we all went out. We would have fixed it that day.
So you all went out there that day, which was the 25th or something. Did you have the tools and equipment with you to repair it on that day?
Yes, sir. We both carry around those tools and equipment in our trucks pretty much the entire summer because, well, I do those repairs I do all the maintenance for Michigan Paving, Lakeland, Reed Riley, and I get phone calls on a darn near daily basis to go repair things like this for them.
All right. So you said at some point he told you to leave and not come back?
Yes, sir. And we got in our cars after he had videotaped us and he said, "Don't come back. I don't want you on my property." And that's after he had already done his own self-help repairs and those things. And we have not, other than sending updated invoices with the updated totals, we haven't made any contact with Mr. System.
Now I add context to when they did come out, Your Honor, they did nothing but circle around and refuse to even acknowledge. I did point out the sinkholes and they completely glossed over it and didn't even address it. From what I'm gathering, they're gonna have to rip that whole section up just to fix it if they have to. I did point out the cracking. They had no tools with them. If they did, yeah, it was in the truck. But I mean, if I was gonna go fix something, all they had to do, if it was that long and if they were willing to, I would have helped them. I even stated that to them. But they didn't bring any tools. They did nothing but make excuses. They walked around and were nothing but condescending, rude, and disrespectful. I got agitated, went in and grabbed my phone, started recording them, and they kept lying to me. I mean, it's just at some point in time, if they were going to fix it, why didn't they say, "Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I got stuff in my car. Let's fix it." And they didn't even do that, Your Honor. So if they had the tools, why didn't they bring it out and say, "Hey, show me where the cracks are. We'll get it done."
There was
They couldn't even do that. The first 5 minutes was just me arguing with them, and all they did was making excuses about it. And at one point, before the crack was even it was about 20 foot long. I don't know. And I said, and I was on my own. I didn't know what to do. And I'm asking them. I even followed up with a professional letter saying, "Hey, you guys need to fix this because I don't feel comfortable." I mean, I can read you an online review where they broke into people's houses, and that's not normal.
What was the date of your letter?
Oh, the formal date, I don't have it in front of me, Your Honor, but I did send it out, and they did receive it. I believe it was.
We haven't cleared this one.
And I know they did sign it because they did get the check. So they had the letter.
All right, well.
And I did state the depressions, and they were showing all this, Your Honor. And they glossed over it. And every time I'd show them something, they would make an excuse. So I don't know what they were planning on doing when they came out there, but they just kept. I can play the whole video if you want to hear them just.
It's still.
And I even tested the asphalt, that the stuff I applied, it had no issue. It's standard asphalt sealant. It's the same stuff that they would use. Or similar. I mean, if they're worried about toxicity, which they never even said, I could have shown them. I had a tube in the garage. They never even asked. I assumed you would know what the stuff is because their company's TM Asphalt and Sealant. I assumed they would know this stuff, but they just, when I told them what I'd done, they didn't ask, "Hey, can you show me? Can you please?" No, they didn't. They also assured me the driveway when it cracked, and here it is right here, examples that it's still cracking. I got chunks like this breaking up still, Your Honor. And they assured me if I go home right now, I can pull a chunk out about that big in one spot. And what's going to happen underneath it is water's going to freeze, and the whole thing's done. By the end of this winter, that driveway is going to start having major issues. And I think that when they were behind schedule, they used subpar material, they rushed the job. I mean, they literally broke into my garage to park their machine to cool it down. I mean, I didn't even give them permission. They showed up 2 times.
All right, let's stop.
Yes, sir.
Do you think you're part of the problem? You're
No,
so
sir.
you're so angry. If I just sit there like this, you would rant for 45 minutes. I've got another lady waiting for hear her
Yes,
case.
sir. I
You're
understand,
so
Your Honor.
angry, there's nothing that they could do to make you happy.
I tried
Then
to.
you stop. This is my turn to talk. Then
Yes,
you
sir.
went out there, you couldn't wait within 20 days of the time they put the substance down. You're out there putting around, doing something without any professional advice because you were upset about it. We don't know about these sinkholes yet because we can't tell. They came out, they talked to you, they offered to make the repairs and you kicked them off your
They
property.
did not offer, Your Honor.
Well, that was their testimony.
I can play a video if you want to hear them. I have a
Um,
whole video if you want to hear it.
I don't have time to hear it. So then you countersue them for things you can't sue for. PTSD and lawn damage. And the contract covers lawn damage. I agree, the edges look crappy on there. But you were puttering around out there with something without their blessing within 20 days of the time that they did it. They're a professional company that's been around here for years and years. And this was an expensive job. $13,000 isn't pocket change. And of course they're busy. They're busy every summer. So I don't take it as a criticism. They work from sundown to sunset. It just shows they work hard. So you have some idea that they gave you inferior materials and they rushed your job based on just your opinion about it. And then you're so mad at them that there wasn't anything they could do that was going to make it right. Then you kicked them off your property. And there's a contract. You're suing on breach of the contract, which controls. They gave you a price. They told you how much it was going to cost. They adheres pretty darn closely to the original quote. And according to their testimony, installed it according to standard practice. I would have liked to have given you something in your counterclaim to maybe level this out, but the counterclaim doesn't contain anything that I can award damages for.
Understood, Your Honor.
The amount due is $2,655.31. Plus $86.25 in costs. Is a total of $2,741.56. You would offer to make monthly installment payments in your answer. But that's not gonna get it at $50 a month.
Whatever the court decides, Your Honor, I would just like to reiterate that the initial contact with Terry, there was no mentioning of fixing the driveway other than him doing it himself. No mentioning of any future contact from the company to fix it. I just want to reiterate that,
All right, that's
which is why I repaired it myself, Your Honor, because I was under the
Again,
impression that
we're
they
under-
were not going to fix
we're
it.
under a very short time frame.
Then Mr. Mosby would have said, or Mr. Moore would have said, I'll be back, we'll come back Monday. I would have never had an issue. They would have had a check after they fixed it. I could write a check today, but they demonstrated that they have no problem with breaking into my property, and they showed up 3 times unannounced. That's why I don't want them back on my property, Your Honor.
All right, fair enough. One claim, you claim they didn't do it. The other company claims they weren't supposed to be there. By 8:15, or 8:13, you paid them $1,000. All right, That's my rule, and you're gonna pay this at least $200 per month,
Yes, Your Honor.
starting December 1st.
Do I get instruction from the court or do I pay directly
You
to
pay
them or you?
directly to TM Asphalt.
Yes, sir. I will be-
You could pay it sooner if you wanna just get it over with.
Well, I plan on it, Your Honor. I have more detail once I get more. I'm gonna file with Laura and a whole bunch of other things about this in the future, so.
All right, that's up to you, but I would have
Of course,
tried
I'm
to
sorry, I'm
level
sorry.
it out, but as I said, there was nothing in the counterclaim I could award damages for. All right, if you go out to the counter, they'll give you a copy of this.
Yes, sir.
He owes you $2,741.56. Lesson learned here, I guess, has to do with customer service. In this day and age, people post opinions which can damage your reputation, whether it's deserved or not. I had a lady today who has mental illness problems that said on the record all kinds of things that I did, which I didn't. And you got an hour's worth of a trial on YouTube that people are gonna have an opinion about.
I'm 100% disabled veteran, Your Honor. That's why I put that in there.
Well, thank you for your service. What service were you in?
Army, sir. Out of Fort Drum, and then I did a year at Bob Fenty, Afghanistan, RC East, and then another year on a contract.
That's rough duty. Today is the 250th anniversary of the United States Marine Corps, which an
Yes, sir.
Army guy might only tangentially appreciate. All right, you go out to the counter, the folks will give you a copy of this.
Straight out the same door, Your Honor?
That's right over there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your
Thank you.
service.
What's that, sir?
Room 107.
107. Do you need anything with the bag? Anything good, sir?
You're good to go. All right, gentlemen, thank you. All right. Ms. Brown, would you come up and have a seat? Thank you for your patience. You got a little bit of experience in the small claims process. We'll remove TM Asphalt. I'm a little confused, frankly, regarding this next case. To tell you the truth.
I hope to help resolve that.
All right, there are two cases. No, I guess just one. Donna Brown versus John Paul Reading and Christy Worrell. You're John Reading?
John Redding, but I'll take whatever.
Reading, all right, and you're Christy Worrell?
Yes, sir.
And you're Donna Brown.
Still here.
Will you all please raise your right hand? You all swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, there are some things in here that you can't normally sue for in small claims court. As I said, a tort. You claim reimbursement, equitable indemnity, negligent misrepresentation against Christy Worrell and Mr. Reading in the alternative, and unjust enrichment. That one you may be able to sue for $4,500. And then I've got a bunch of stuff that I frankly can't
Cool.
completely comprehend. The other matter, as I understand it, the parties were not married, but they share a child. So there was no divorce. Generally, in a divorce proceeding, you can't supersede the circuit court's jurisdiction by filing an action in small claims court, and people try to do it all the time. So there's so much here, I can't quite even discern it all. But Ms. Brown, why do you believe that they owe you $4,500?
Yes, Your Honor, if you give me a moment to give you the backstory, and I will try to present this the best that I can so that you get the best understanding to the situation.
All right.
So Mr. Redding and I have two children together. We have court orders in place. I have sole legal and physical custody of the children. There was a court order established for both children that he has to provide insurance on the children and provide child support.
All right, where are those court orders from?
They are from here, within Centerville,
All right, St. Joe County.
St. Joe County. Yes, and they are provided within the initial filing.
Yes,
Mr. Redding has not provided consistent insurance on the children. We have one child with very sick medical condition. He has kidney disease, and which is bilateral hydronephrosis and RASA1 genetic mutation. So insurance is very critical to him. I've been at home. I was at home taking care of children, and the children were both enrolled in state insurance. This suit that I'm raising, I had out-of-pocket expenses due to what I'm going to discuss when Christy Worrell added the insurance, and I'll explain to you why it would fall under small claims case. So what had happened is I had requested friend of the court to have John uphold his obligation for his insurance, and he did start a policy back in February of 2024. However, he terminated that policy. That policy did not impact Medicaid on the children, did not impact my son's children's special health care. There was no impact. If I have primary insurance, it does not impact the children's Medicaid, secondary Medicaid. But what had happened is Ms. Worrell, without my permission, without my consent, used my children's information, social security numbers, did not reach out to me as legal guardian of the children or discuss this matter or how it would impact state insurance before putting them on a policy. And what she did is she put the children on a policy, but she used my address as her primary address. The state of Michigan, therefore, canceled Medicaid because she does not live at the address at 25951 Lantern Circle. So what had happened is, by her doing this, all medical bills then were rejected by the insurance company. And her insurance wouldn't cover either because of a dependency discrepancy. When she first enrolled the children, there was no marriage on file in the state of Texas during her initial hire and enrollment period. I had reached out to Atena, the insurance company, only on behalf of the children to try to see, once I got the Medicaid rejection letter, that there was going to be a lapse in coverage. And our son had important medical testing and procedures that were prior authorized and that he was going to be going for. So what had happened is this directly impacted where I had to change different plans of care around for our son because it would be astronomical medical bills. And I was able to move things where he only had two smaller University of Michigan medical bills, which I'm suing for, which I presented here, and the amounts of, I think, 88 for one and 200 and something for the other. I can get the direct amounts. And additionally, my daughter happened to have an emergency situation, so I was charged over $3,000 because no insurance would cover because of this choice made. I did not agree to that, and there was no prior friend of the court authorization, which was what they're saying. Later on, they said if a marriage was in place, but she still couldn't use my address. And I have right here to show you, this is Christy Worrell at my address in the state of Michigan. Of course, that causes dependency issues with state benefits. She does not live in Michigan, and these children are not her dependents. So what happened is I have direct financial losses due to this. Now, once her insurance.
All right, let's talk about those. How much are those?
Yes, so I have outlined within the summary. I believe it is on damages. If you go to attachment A, statement of claim, the damages I have at $4,500. This includes medical bills from University of Michigan, one for $88, one for $130, Sturgis Hospital, $3,597.07. That subtotal equals $3,815.07.
Stop, slow down. I don't think that's added up in here. Oh, there it is, yes.
Yes, and also he kept the United Healthcare insurance and not changed over to hers. That one would have done mileage reimbursement, so I have included that as well. I've also
just a moment. Mr. Stickley, I asked Shayna to call down there. I don't think I'm gonna get to our friend, Mr. O'Brien.
I was just checking in because I was gonna chat with you about something else, Your Honor. I didn't know how deep you still were. I didn't mean to.
I'm
interrupt at all.
up to here. So, I can, tomorrow is Veterans Day and we won't be here. I'll be on WBET at 7 a.m. if you want to listen to my radio, presentation, but, we'll work on it. The magistrate set his bond at $50,000 in his other case. It is not he's already pled guilty. He's just pending sentence.
Yeah.
So we'll address it on Wednesday.
Okay, enjoy your day tomorrow. Have a fun time on the radio. And I'll see you when you're.
All right, thank you. Thanks for checking in. All right, I'm sorry. We had a criminal matter that we didn't get to. But go ahead.
Okay. In addition to that, the filing fees and process server fees, which I did submit through your clerk and she did
Yeah,
print me off a copy,
they're separate.
if those could be included as well.
Well, those can be in excess of any other claim. All right.
Additionally, there is a lot of problems between the parties and I, and her counterclaim for day off work, she would have had to take it already because we did have PPO hearings this morning.
Well, you normally can't sue for that sort of thing.
That was a counterclaim that she placed on me for her time off work. So I'm just saying that she would have been in court today, no matter what, had this case not been.
All right. There's a bunch of other stuff in here which isn't relevant. Pictures of Hummers and a bunch of
So
stuff.
what that was in regards to, Your Honor, is
I don't even want to know. We're just gonna deal with these. So it's your contention that without your consent, and I'm not sure they need it, they had his consent, and he's a parent, but they changed insurance. And because of that insurance, it eliminated your additional emergency health care benefits you had in the state of Michigan, resulting in costs that would have been covered, but were not.
yes, and he is ordered within the order to pay out-of-pocket expenses. John Redding is.
Mhm.
And as far as
Now, that's up to them. You can't ask me to enforce
correct, anything from front of the court.
front of the court.
However, Christy Worrell should not have insured the children. I do have sole legal custody of the children, and any medical decisions would be up to me, not father at this point in time. And as
All right,
far
what's
as
your authority for that?
I provided it on there, that is in our parenting custody order. One was in 2015.
Well,
for
let's
Kaylee.
take a look at that.
Yes, in 2021, I
Let me
believe.
see if I could find it. There's so much stuff in here.
If not, I can pull it up on my computer and show you, Your Honor. I may have only included the
Here it is.
support.
Set funky. All right, uniform order. What clause here?
I can show you this. It is ordered that plaintiff shall have physical and legal custody and care of the minor children of the parties. If you would like to see, I can bring it up.
I think I have it here, but I'm front of the court orders are. What paragraph?
So I'm not sure if this is in the full filing or if this is its own independent order. If you'd like to show this stuff.
I can take this house.
Okay.
The defendant shall maintain health care coverage through the insurer That includes payment for hospital, dental, optical, and other healthcare expenses. And that coverage is available at a reasonable cost, including coverage available at a benefit of employment or under an individual policy, up to a maximum of $375 for the defendant. As for Kaylee reading and John reading, I'm not sure which paragraph you're speaking about, which says you have.
I have it here. It may not be included, but this, you can look within your system. This is file number 15839. And then they combine the dockets.
All right, well,
With
what
six.
paragraph are you looking at in that
The
document?
first paragraph, it says Donna Brown plaintiff,
Yes,
John Redding, order for custody, parenting time, and other relief. All parties have agreed to the court otherwise being fully advised of the premises. It is ordered that plaintiff shall have the physical and legal custody and care of the minor child of parties, Kaylee Redding. And there's a second order for John Redding that is the similar verbiage where I have the physical and legal custody at this time of the children.
all right, now, let's talk about this $3,800 bill for Kaylee. What is that about?
So she had a high temperature, an emergency matter, and she had to be taken in. My mom had taken her in. I was trying to avoid taking children in during the time, knowing that there was this insurance crisis that was caused. The bill came to $3,000. I told you how much it came to, over $3,000. And I do have a letter from Sturgis Hospital. It says that please be aware the insurance company, you advise this bill has delayed the processing of your claim because of a coordination of benefits issue. When I called Aetna on behalf of my children, it was due to a dependency issue. There was an ineligibility issue with her insuring the children. That caused the problem, and it caused the Medicaid to drop.
All right, so have you paid that bill?
The bill is still outstanding, $700. I'm working with Sturgis Hospital to get it resolved. I'm still out. I still owe U of M as well, all of the other bills.
Well, how much?
This is what I'm out, this amount right here, and you can hand it to, this is the amount that I'm out for those two. And here's for those two. That's my total that I'm out.
$38,130.
And if you could also give him this shows that she
But-
used my address in Michigan.
You haven't actually paid that $3,597, is that correct?
I have a payment plan that I'm working with Sturgis Hospital to try to situate the situation. They're trying to rebuild things, trying to do everything that they can to try to work with me. Currently, that's the amount that is going to be showing on my credit if not fully paid.
All right, so she's laid out why she believes you owe this. It's not equitable indemnity or negligent misrepresentation. It's that you changed your insurance. Now, I'm sure it was done with good intention to put the children on your insurance, but under the way it worked out, she contends it made her ineligible for the other coverage that she had, and then your insurance didn't cover it.
Your Honor, when I brought it to their attention.
Just a minute,
Okay.
May I say
so
something?
yes,
So prior to us insuring the kids on my insurance, we called the friend of the court and had them review both of the policies that John was responsible for. And they gave us permission to put the kids on my insurance. And in Texas, they actually recognized domestic partnership, which we did file as of 1/8 of last year. And so under my insurance, actually, John is a dependent. It's actually domestic partnership dependent is how it's phrased. And then his kids are listed as domestic partner dependent. So he's my domestic partner. And then I had to choose under the option for his children, domestic partner dependent. So that's how it's phrased in the healthcare world. And when she, so in.
All right, let me
it
stop
actually
you
gave
for a
us an
minute.
option.
Let me stop you for a minute. So I'm not familiar with Texas, but in Michigan, if you were married, you could cover his children under your insurance policy.
So it's the same thing. Judge.
All right, so in Texas, it's not called a marriage, it's called a dependent partnership.
So we filed it.
Informal marriage.
Yeah.
which It's stamped county seal.
So
All right,
it's,
what's the date of the marriage?
it's as of 1/8/2025.
That is incorrect. I do have, they filed it in,
I didn't ask you anything. I'll give you a chance to speak. This
We
is
did
their
file
turn.
it. We did file it on March 27th, but on the paragraph, it actually says on or about 1/8/2025, we agreed to be married. And so in their system, it actually is dated as 1/8/2025. And
All right.
so it's the same thing. So it's seen as a marriage whenever you're putting them on there. And because of the turmoil and the disputes between John and Donna, we had been advised by a friend of the court to send her kids' cards directly to the home. If I would have used her address as my permanent address, I could not work for that company. I could not be insured in the state of Texas. My kids were also insured under that policy. I was insured under that policy. Our cards came to my home. Their cards went to their home. And Donna called my work place of employment so many times that they called me and told me that it was concerning and I probably needed to consult an attorney for how concerning it was with what she was saying. And so after that, I actually had my company reach out to the Medicaid in Michigan to make sure that they were still okay. And they said that there was no conflict of interest between my insurance and the insurance between the kids, that there was something probably that was done on Michigan side that was not correct, but from their research and what they had entered, it was non-conflicting to the kids.
And in fact, if you look on Exhibit 8 that she
Just a
submitted.
moment, just a moment. What's the matter? I took.
oh, you did, okay, thank you, sorry.
All right, who did you talk to at the front of the court's office?
It is, we spoke with both Amy Wright as well as on the 5th, Liz.
Amy Rice?
Right.
Right.
WRHT.
And then Liz?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a caseworker from front of the court?
I believe it's either Amanda or Liz, Your Honor. I've got email correspondence from myself in the front of the court when we sent them insurance cards. That.
All right, so before you transferred the children to your, now what insurance had you had, Mr. Redding?
So prior, which one was it?
I think it was UHC maybe.
I lost my job. And so it's a court order that I carry insurance. So my wife was nice enough to help me insure the kids to make sure, obviously my son has a lot of health issues. And I feel like that a lot of the reason why maybe something might not have been covered is because she was blowing up the insurance company's phone as well as my wife's employer regarding why it shouldn't be covered, as she's outlined in her exhibit 11, when it's just messages of her not wanting to allow the children to be insured.
By myself. She did not want me to insure them, even though Texas recognizes us as being married and I can insure them under my policy. They actually started insurance under my current policy as of 10/1, and I haven't heard anything of it affecting his insurance at all. So I'm not sure what the discrepancy was on her end. I don't know if she missed turning something in on her end, and that's why they weren't covered by Medicaid. But I personally had Aetna call my benefit specialist under the Pennant Health Services, call the state of Michigan Medicaid to make sure that there was no conflict of interest between their policies and mine.
And on her exhibit 11, it even says that there's a form that she can return and complete on her exhibit 11
I
that
object to false evidence.
Here,
Well,
if you state it here.
They're
she
making a
would
lot
have-
of false claims.
Slow down. These exhibits, I'm trying to find exhibit 11. There's so much extraneous stuff in here. It's hard to, I don't know what is exhibit 11. All right, so your contention is you lost your job, so you didn't have any insurance. So you got married in Texas and your wife's company is willing to insure her new spouse's children. So she put your children on her insurance to comply with the Michigan court order. Is that correct?
yes, Your Honor.
All right, and you called the friend of the court first and said, hey, we're gonna do this.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is incorrect.
Well, we'll find out. We may have to call that. And so that was done. And I wasn't clear exactly what talked about when your partnership was. When was the date that children placed on insurance?
As of May 1st of 2025.
I have a letter that says from April 14th, the children, that's when the cards were mailed to me. So that is incorrect, Your Honor.
Say that again.
Probably when-
April 14th, I received the letter, so May 1st is incorrect, Your Honor. The children were insured already in the month of April. The informal marriage that they submitted was 3/27/2025. There was no record with the state of Texas during the time that she enrolled the children, which is why the beneficiary situation started. I had called Aetna, not her employer, multiple times. That is incorrect and lies. There is also a false police report that Ms. Worrell has submitted on me in regards to that. I only called in regards to my children's insurance, where Aetna themselves are the ones that told me prior to any medical treatment. That's how I knew it wasn't going to be covered, because Aetna said, no, this is going to cause major dependency issues, because the way that this employer works, that
Correct,
your
Your
children
Honor.
can't be dependents. Excuse me, it's my time. What had happened was.
Stop.
And my
I was
April
just-
1st, I could have been misconfused on the dates, but
They were insured.
All right, so either in April or May, the children were on your insurance.
yes, it was either April 1st or May 1st. I mean, they
Well,
were.
the point is, the date of service here was May 27. Is that correct? For your daughter?
I believe the date of service, yeah, there was about a 2-month period that the children were enrolled. The insurance started April. I believe it ended in June. I got a COBRA statement that insurance had ended. That was sent June 11th. So insurance was terminated during the month of June. I did notify Mr. Redding and Ms. Worrell that, hey, this is going to impact. I also went to DHS
All right,
office.
Stop. I ask short questions and you give me a long paragraph.
I apologize.
So the date of service for your daughter was May 27th. Is that correct?
That is what it shows on the bill. I believe
All right.
that's the date.
The dates of service for your son were April 29th and May 16th. Now, they billed United Healthcare Community Plan Insurance. Whose insurance was that?
That would be the state of Michigan that rejected. They were on a United Healthcare Community Plan. And it became active once Christie's policy ended. It reactivated.
Well, it says not billable service. I'm not sure what that means.
It's because she had started a primary insurance with a dependency issue. I'm also the one who reached out to friend of the court, and when I got this on April 14th, and friend of the court had no knowledge, they had to actually look into it, and there should be some emails looking into it. They later determined if a full marriage did take place, they don't care who insures the kids on that end, but they did not call and get this approved ahead of time. I'm sorry that they did lie, though.
Well, we might have to hear from friend of the court.
Their
Now,
exact,
right now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
their exact wording was, I've entered the insurance information in our system that children have coverage through a third party, Christy Worrell. That's directly from Amy Wright in front of the court.
So we did call prior.
What was the date of that?
That email was on for the, that's the most current one. I apologize. Let's see. This one is on October 9th for again. And then, because we changed the insurance again, the first one was when I sent the email cards to Liz was on May 5th.
That was much after.
But prior to us changing over, we did call because I was with John, and we did call the friend of the court because we were not going to change the kids over to my insurance policy if they did not give us approval. So because I also have kids with other gentlemen, and so I know how the court system works, Judge, and so I was not going to allow John to let me put them on the policy if the friend of the court was not, if it wasn't under his his order, because I know what trouble it brings, and so I wouldn't put myself in that situation in doing so.
But we're literally getting sued because we insured my kids, which is court ordered.
And honestly, I don't know why they paid so much money because from, if I can remember correctly, the policy was either $150 for the ER visit, and that was the deductible, and or it was $250. I can't remember which one. If it was admitting, it would have been $500. And so the policy I actually obtained was the highest PPO policy that I could actually obtain through my insurance company, so they could have the lowest out-of-pocket deductibles. And because I knew that Johnny was sick. And so, but me being a mom, I have 2 children we have court orders as well. I would not have allowed John to let me put them on my policy without permission from front of the court.
And I feel that if she was as difficult with us in regards to just sending her insurance cards as she was with a hospital, I would, or with any of the insurance companies, I would assume.
Objection.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I didn't even hear what he said. But what he did say is, I'm being sued because I put my kids on my insurance as I was ordered to do by the court. Now, that is well and good, but her contention is because of that, I now have a $3,597 bill. But it doesn't yet sound like it's completely rectified. There may be
Actually send me the
benefits.
paperwork, Judge. I will fill it out and I can contact the hospital and submit that, because I also handle claims under my current position. So if she would like help with that, you could actually email that to us. I'll fill out the form myself and make sure that was covered under that insurance policy. And even if it was $250, John actually has something under the friend of the court to where she submits that into the friend of the court for him to pay through his child support. So, I mean, that's honestly, I would be willing to help fill out all those forms to make sure that all of that was covered if she was unwilling to use my insurance card because she is prideful.
Your Honor, They're twisting this around from really what's been going on in
All
this
right, well, let me
situation.
stop for just a minute. What insurance is on the kids right now?
I'm
Aetna.
currently covering them under Blue Cross Blue Shield as a primary, which is why her primary is not impacting the children right now because they are under me and they have Medicaid as a secondary. Medicaid works with any primary as long as there's no dependency issue. They were notified that there was a dependency issue prior to the children receiving any bills, and Christy Worrell and John could have at that point in time dropped the insurance. There wouldn't have been any issues. There wouldn't have been any bills. They
Well,
refused
the
to.
problem is he's ordered by the court to have insurance on the children.
And there was no problem with him covering the children.
Okay,
And he also had lapses in insurance prior. What had happened is, once they used the children's information, and I have found out that they had used the information and it wasn't going to insure the children and it was going to mess up our son's healthcare. And I had a whole bunch of prior authorizations and things for him to be sedated for like his MRIs and all these things set up. And it's still now delayed to this day. And it's a big thing for our son to have care delayed. So they can paint a picture that they're trying to help. But what it was is there's a huge other problems going on with financial control and abuse. And this would put me in a worse situation. There's
all
a
right, well,
whole
let
other
me
case going
back
on.
up. He's ordered by the friend of the court to provide insurance for the children. That
Yes.
order's in effect.
Yes,
So he provides coverage for the children through his spouse's health care.
they filed this, I believe, with the intention of insurance fraud. They state this back to 1/8/2025, but they were at my house on the property with police called on 1/25/25, and they did not report themselves as married to that officer. They presented themselves as boyfriend and girlfriend. What they did is they filed an informal marriage after I reached out to the state of Texas and said someone had used my children's information without legal grounds to use the information to start this policy that's now impacting my children's health care.
So I don't believe that. I don't think he went out of his way to insure these kids just to screw with you. I think he was trying to comply with the court's order. Now, so you're rejecting that coverage for the children currently?
They had ended it. They basically screwed it all up. And then she cut the policy. Why did you cut the policy? You can ask her. I don't know.
So you called my job so many times, they fired me. So thank you.
I
for
never
that.
called the employer. I called the beneficiary
All
line
right,
through Aetna.
so,
They
so
fired
you
me
lost,
because how many
you
times?
lost the job that had that insurance?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
true?
She called so many, no, that's not my current position. I'm with a different company, but she called my job so many times, they let me go the following week. That's why they lost coverage at the end of June. So thank you for that.
I never had anything to do
I
with
know
her.
it wasn't
or-
your intent, however, it happened.
All right,
They also just recently
all
sold,
right, stop just for a minute.
yes.
All right, so you put them on this coverage either in April or May. Then because she called your place of employment so much, they fired you. So
Yes,
you
sir.
lost your job and lost that insurance.
Yes, sir.
All right, so are the kids on any insurance between the two of you now?
Yes, so I actually, I waited because I waited till I found a good company because healthcare is kind of hostile. And so I found a company that I'm currently working for. And that's why I get it confused. Some start within 30 days, some start within 60 days, some start within 90 days. So it's hard to keep up with. But with my current employer, it started as of 10/1/2025. And it's also an Aetna policy. And the max out of pocket for both policies, Judge, was no more than $4,000. So one visit to the medical, you could have gone to the ER. That bill alone, if she did not file under insurance and paid the $250 deductible and sent the bill to John, it would have actually covered everything moving forward for Johnny at zero deductibility. Same thing with this policy, Judge. I got the highest PPO plan possible because I know he is ill and I have children myself and my daughter is also ill, also has a blood disorder. So it's very important that they have the policies correct. And so I made sure that they had the least out of pocket expense and the lowest deductible to make it the most easy. So Donna can just submit any receipt that she has into the friend of the court, which it seems she's refusing to do so.
Not to mention that the deductible, from my understanding, gets eaten up by the state insurance that
Well,
she
it's not
has.
just the deductible, it's the max out of pocket. I got the lowest max out of pocket. The deductible for my current policy, and now I think for family it was 4,000, and for out of pocket it was like maybe 4 or 6 for the last one. This one is only 6,000 and $1,000 deductible. So literally one visit to the doctor's office and it'll cover everything.
All right, so right now, these children are covered under your employer's Aetna policy from Texas.
Your Honor, I pay $1,600 a month for my children's insurance. It
I
is a
didn't ask you
trust.
anything. I'll come back to you in a minute. So are they on your policy in Texas
Yes, sir.
as of
The same-
October 1?
Yes, sir. The same way I did it last time, I did it this time. They offer a domestic partner and then domestic partner dependent, and I can actually send that into the court so you can review it.
All right. Ms. Brown, your indication is that you now have a Blue Cross Blue Shield policy?
I've been paying insurance because I had to do what I had to do to make sure that our son could get his medical care needs met
And when
I
did
also would
when
like-
did you start that?
in June. And I also would like to show Miss Worrell just sold her home. And she sold her home and signed single affidavit at the same county in Texas. And here is her official deed that she sold her home. This was public records. I only obtained public records. I also never contacted her employer like she's saying multiple times, and she has just recently falsified a police report.
Stop.
But I'd like you to see,
Stop. That's not relevant. I believe she got fired because you called her boss in her
I'm
employment.
not called the employer.
Well, I believe she lost her job because of your earnest efforts
My
regarding this
understanding is she had
insurance.
misdemeanors unreported.
All right, now, so you bought your own policy here in Michigan in June. So are the kids double insured?
I'm not aware that they even have a policy. I just know that right now, when I've gone to the doctor, no other policies have showed up other than the Blue Cross Blue Shield, and the Medicaid is a secondary.
She should have received that from the front of the court. It said, again, we sent it to the front of the court on October 9th, where it says that showing the children have coverage to a third party, Christy Worrell.
Effective 10/1/25, medical and RX coverage, vision and dental coverage as well. I got, like I said, Judge, I actually.
Because no matter what Miss Brown does, you're still ordered by the friend of the court to provide health insurance. Is that correct?
I am.
I offered with friend of the court to sign off on that coverage, just so that they wouldn't mess up, so that my son can't get his health care again and me get stuck with $3,000-$4,000 in bills. If they cover an insurance, it has to actually cover the children and not kick him out of all of his other insurance. The problem is I'm out financial losses from this decision, and they
Again-
chose to not remedy it. All they had to do was.
I
stop
can get the
insurance.
form to fill out for you because I know that you didn't turn in the insurance card and now you brought us here and it's frivolous. But if you would actually send that to the friend of the court to send to us, I'll fill it out for you. I'll call the hospital and I'll get it taken care of for you. And I'll submit all the receipts to the friend of the court.
Your Honor, there's been some extreme manipulation into the children's health care because John is wanting the kids to go to Texas, and there's flight restriction list. They have both called University of Michigan MOTS, and they have prevented health care for the children. They have made it where my phone number has been changed. And what has happened is it's extending out my son to get his MRIs and his images, which will make him ineligible to go to Texas for the visitations. And that's what this is probably over. There is more to this story. They might sit there and tell you that, they're nice people trying to insure the children, but you weren't in the PPO hearing this morning. I'm out thousands of dollars. We had him and I still.
Well, you're not out yet. Sturgis Hospital's out at this point. If some insurance company will pay it, it could be reimbursed to the hospital.
I just want to be rectified for the amount that I'm out of pocket had this not happened.
Yes, and let's assume everything that you say is correct. Then what is it? Is it an unfortunate accident? They have a court order to provide insurance.
John does, Christy does not.
Yes. He loses his job. His wife or whatever they call it in Texas, domestic partner, agrees, which she didn't have to put the children on her policy. They say they called the friend of the court and told them that, and they did it. Then in the case of the right hand, not knowing what the left hand was doing, it somehow made your children ineligible. And I'm still not completely clear about that. But
Your Honor.
Hey,
he
Gail,
put
how
that
you
job
doing today?
Yes.
stop. I'll give you a chance to speak. You didn't have a chance to coordinate my thoughts. So what is that? He follows a court order and gets insurance. He checks in with a friend of the court and they say, okay. Unintended consequence is that there's an unpaid bill. They maintain if it was submitted, they would submit it and get it paid. Your theory is that they somehow did this with nefarious intent. So what's your response to that?
Your Honor, I've been subject to extreme financial control. Mr. Redding and I, we own a home together. I had, during this same exact window, I had a forbearance for the home that was filed, and he called and canceled that so that I would almost lose the house into foreclosure. The house was run through court. He ended up requesting dismissal based on rights of survivorship so that I couldn't sell the house. So I've been completely financially trapped in this situation. All of those other things were added on, all of his sales. That's his job that he's not reporting to the IRS or to the friend of the court, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Him and Miss Whirl have just recently bought a new home. On the old home, she filed single and not homestead when in the same county in Texas. So that would hide the asset. He owes over almost $10,000 in back child support. Yes, he quit the job, but he didn't quit the job to help these children and put them on her insurance, like he's saying. There's a whole lot of backstory to this, Your Honor, and I'm being honest. A whole lot of backstory of domestic violence and everything else that's going on in Judge Patterson's courtroom right now, and with the home and with finances. And this was just one other tool. This was just one other tool to set me back. They were made aware. I told them, this is going to charge me out of pocket. Please remove the insurance so that the children can continue the care under the Medicaid. All they had to do was remove it. We could have worked with friend of the court or changed an order. They could have put in a request to not have to insure the children. That didn't happen. They knew that the children would not be covered due to this dependency issue. They continued to keep the insurance. It in turn caused me out thousands of dollars. It increased more financial strain to me. There is a lot more. Then a false police report was made, and even to you in this court saying I harassed an employer. She did not, she lost her job over what I'm assuming is at a healthcare facility and didn't report her misdemeanor. She is also being charged right now for child endangerment or neglect or hurting her own child.
And that is irrelevant.
Stop. Is there any more bad stuff you want to say about him? This isn't about that. This is about all the background. And you're angry and you're resentful and you've got a list of grievances longer than my arm.
Yes.
But they followed the friend of the court order to provide insurance. You didn't have the authority to unilaterally tell them to take the insurance off of there. This is also more a friend of the court matter than it is a small claims matter. And people often try to jumpstart a divorce or custody and visitation order by taking it to small claims court. So that's the first fundamental problem. It's a front of the court issue rather than ours. And secondly, I find they were in compliance with the court order. So I find for the defendants, the damages are zero. If you want further argument in the front of the court.
Your Honor, I can't submit to front of the court beyond the time that it took for the insurance to try to run these bills. That's why I'm asking you to please help me make this right, that they have.
Well, you can give the bill to them and they will do it. But I find that they were complying with the front of the court order and they provided the insurance. You take her out, she get a copy of that. We'll send a copy to you. All right.
So how would you purify water in case of a blackout?
Oh, I'd boil it. Boiling kills bacteria, but it doesn't remove
All right, Miss Ballard, I had to kind of figure some things out here. All right. You're here this morning on a pretrial in file 251957. Let me see if I can run this down. You have a couple of unpaid fines in some old cases.
I just spent 2 days over in county for those Judge Patterson.
Well, you did, but there's some other ones that they probably didn't take care of, but I'm not really worried about those right now.
The ones that I just did the 2 days for was for $363, I think.
All right, maybe they've been taken care of. Well, whoever's in Danielle Ballard's file, get out of it, please. This has been a very frustrating circumstance. Anyway, I haven't been able to look at your file because somebody else is in it. You were bound over to circuit court on 3 counts of resisting and obstructing a police officer, and that was from March. And you were put on pretrial supervision through community corrections.
Yes.
I believe you were sentenced by Judge Stutzman in that matter in October.
Yes.
What's the status of that case?
It's closed. I think it was $150 in fines.
So there was no other jail sentence or probation or anything? What was the sentence?
A misdemeanor for attempt. No.
All right, and then he just gave you time served or something? Because saved a lot of aggravation and just done that here. All right, well, anyway, that is done. You were on a tether at that time. And the case that's set for pretrial.
I'd recommend getting a genetic methylation test just once in your life. Just once in your life. You'll never need to do it again.
Okay.
And how is that done?
It's 251957. It's a retail fraud from August 14th of 2025. The allegation in that case is that you were in Menards with your tether on, stealing stuff. And so that you pled not guilty and we set that for a pretrial. I'm gonna appoint an attorney for you. In that case, you were on felony bond at the time that case was committed or allegedly committed. 2531 FY. Case of the right hand, maybe not knowing what the left hand was doing. So in this one, Miss Ballard, you could use an attorney to help you. Set attorney pretrial with 252251 FY. You also owed me some jail time in a driving case that eventually, apparently, according to the clerk, that was taken care of. So that's not an issue anymore. All right, whoever was in it got out of it.
If you're rating her right now, it's a FY. I think you said attorney pretrial, she's a PEC, which would be the 18.
I'm not gonna arraign her.
Okay, okay.
I was aware of that, so I set it with the PEC. There's a new warrant for your arrest, Miss Ballard, that came out earlier this week. It's alleged that on July 6th, you stole a camper worth $7,000 to $10,000 from Drew Bauer.
That's our camper.
Well, the prosecutor charged you with a felony of larceny over $1,000.
I'm sorry. how's
Michelle,
that?
that's the allegation that you stole a camper as a third felony offender. The camper was on her property. It was gone. Danielle Ballard stole the camper. She stated the camper belonged to her nephew, Drew Bauer. She would like Drew Bauer. He'd like to report the camper as stolen. He didn't know where Ballard would have taken it. He described it to be a sportsman pull behind. Spoke up with Christopher Swan, the brother of Danielle Ballard. He stated he woke up to find the sportsman camper on his property. He found that his sister, Danielle Ballard, had brought the camper to his property. He had been in communication with Ballard about the camper and did not want her or the camper on his property. At that time, you were on a tether and obtained a search warrant for your GPS, and they determined that you were there. I don't know if the camper's been recovered.
Yes, it has been.
All right.
When the officer showed up, because I did get to my brother's.
All right, well, don't say anything about it. I don't want you saying about it at this point. The prosecutor charges as a felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison. They allege the camper is worth $7,000 to $10,000. This warrant was laying around. It just came in 2 days ago. We had to figure out what it is. So you're going to jail. You're going to go to jail and you're going to get a fingerprinted and mugshotted on this new charge, and then the magistrate will see you. Like I said, I had trouble finding it.
I don't understand. It's crazy.
I didn't make the charge. The prosecutor did.
I understand. I just don't understand how I can get in trouble for taking something that would belong to me as well.
Well, a camper has a title on it. And unless it's titled in your name, you don't own it. What?
Neither one of us got the title.
Well, if you don't have the title, then you're not the owner of it. I don't know, but it's not like a piano or a guitar or a stereo system. A camper has a title. The person that owns the title owns the camper.
Yeah,
So I can't tell you what into their decision to charge you with this, but you were on bond at the time that the camper incident went down. You're on bond and tether at the time the Menards incident went down. So you go with a court officer and they'll take you to jail. You'll get lunch. The magistrate will see you after lunch.
Oops, you want me to take the jacket off? Yeah. I've been here too.
All right, I still haven't quite figured that out.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right. If she'd been here earlier, we would have done it earlier, but she did come and I appreciate that. I appreciate you getting her over here. She got to deal with this. This is better than just getting picked up off the street. She'll see the magistrate after lunch. Well, they'll set the bond in, but I don't. Like I said, the prosecutor's the one that charged it. Maybe they'll have some more input on it. And check in after lunch about 2:30 to see what the deal is.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mhm.
I swear to God, if
Campers. Trying to clear my ear. Did I get it? No. Yes, no. Maybe. Nope. All right. Maybe I'm just tired. I don't sleep at night. Oh, excuse me. Well, that's it for today, everybody. If you're not a subscriber to this channel and you like the content, please consider subscribing to this channel and helping this channel grow. We come on every day at 3 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time. And it'd be 4 o'clock Eastern Time. I have no idea what time in California. 1 o'clock, I think, in California. Something like that. Yeah, it's been the last couple of days. It's been cold here, and then it's starting to warm back up again. You know, I'm gonna get sick. Yes, it's about right. About 2 hours behind. So the sun's still out. It's dark here. Oh, and I did give me my food stamp money when they resolved the when they ended the government shutdown. I did get my SNAP money. I really don't think there's going to be a stimulus because I don't think there's enough. They say that there's not enough money from it. But that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow is Judge Aaron Gother. Yeah. Excuse my voice. It's been almost a week it's been a week and a half now since I've smoked a cigarette. I still want to hit people with a claw hammer, but I'm trying. Yeah, so tomorrow is Judge Gunther, and I will schedule that later because for some unknown reason, when you schedule it in StreamYard and it's one live stream, but when you go to YouTube chat to your YouTube studio, it's listed on there twice. So I guess that has something to do with that what you said, YouTube Live, what was said before, YouTube Live, which is pretty good. I just don't understand it, but I guess I just have to schedule each day. At the end of each day, the end of each stream, schedule the next one. So that's it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow. Ta-ta, ciao, ciao. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I will see you again soon.
Come down to it all with your tools in hand, making magic flow. Every broken part, you help me grow. You fix it all, fix it all. You fix it all. Daniel, you make it right. Daniel, everything's right when I'm falling apart. You put me back together. You make it better. From the wires tangled up to the broken dreams, you know how to mend all my scattered seams. With your steady hands, you refill my heart. Every piece that's lost gets a brand new start. You fix it all, fix it all. You fix it all. Daniel, you make it right. Daniel, everything's bright when I'm falling apart. You put me back together. Daniel, you make it better. Make it right when the world shuts down and I can't see clear. You're my solid ground, always drawing near. Never give up on this heart of mine. Put it back together every single time. Fix it all, now I'm standing tall to all you do. From the highest peak, I can see it through. With your care and touch, everything's